सतु नित्यमिहामृतनिन्दिने विन्दं मधुरिमसारा Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Bhakta Bandhav Shiva Gurudeva. Jai Sachinanda, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinanda, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jai Radha Vinod Hare Radha Vinod Hare Radhe. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Gaurananda, Hari Hari Bol. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-shalaakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guru Varam Shri Rupanuga Pravaram Brajarasarasikam Cha Narayanam Tam Prapannam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Prashtaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktiram Cha Kripamurti Narayanam Seva Kunja Bhaje Ramye Govardhana Girosara Radha Kunja Rasananda Tatta Seva Pradayanam Gurum Narayanakyam Tam Vande Vinoda Prashtakam Yatpada Smiti Matrena Damodara Prasidati Manchakalpadrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patidhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurakrishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Bhaktya Vihina Parara Lakshe Kshiptascha Kamalita Rangamadhya Kripamayi Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhura Smitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Varadram Tato Mamanyasti Gatir Nakapi Tvayavasmi Najivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantike Radhe Vrindavanadisha Karuna Amrita Vahini Kripaya Nija Padabja Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyatam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. First of all, offer my Sastangananda Pranam 1,000 times, Lord, Sri Sri Paramarada Guru Para Padma Vishnu Para Svatya Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev. Second, offer my Sastangananda Pranam 1,000 times, Lord, Sri Rupa Gauti Guru Varga. Offer my Sastangananda Pranam to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Continuing with the reading, Sri Damodarashtaka. Jiva Goswami's description in Gopal Champu of this Dham Pandan Lila. Within a moment of the Braj Gopi's departure, Shri Krishna manifested his pastime of crying. But he soon cheered up at the thought of pulling the grinding mortar around. He was tied up, but because he was surrounded by other little boys, he stimulated their desire for adventure. As he laughed and played with them, he slowly began to tug at the grinding mortar. The gopis who had gleefully brought robes from their homes to bind Shri Krishna were now in Nanda Bhavam with Shri Yashoda. This meant that their homes were empty. Seizing that excellent opportunity, Shri Krishna directed his friends to steal the fresh butter hanging from the ceilings of the deserted homes and then eat it. Because Shri Krishna found pulling the grinding mortar so entertaining, he never even wanted to free himself by his own hands, nor by the hands of his friends. In other words, Krishna was having a good old time, playing with the friends in the grinding mortar. He was happy. Very happy. And he became absorbed and lost in that play. Just then his eyes fell on the twin Arjun trees, which stood facing the main gate and which swayed as if dancing whenever there was a strong wind. As Shri Krishna pulled the mortar along, he eventually crawled toward the middle of the two trees. At this point, Snigdhakantu, who had been loudly narrating with all this great excitement, suddenly realized, if I tell them that Sri Hari is the cause of the two trees falling, I'll be glorifying his Aishwarya opulence. That would not be at all appropriate in this assembly of Brajvasis, who are absorbed in Sri Hari's madhurya or sweetness. I will conceal this fact and just tell them another reason why the trees fell. He continued, just as Shri Krishna came between the trees, he became filled with eagerness to proceed further and quickly crawled between them. The passage between the trees was narrow, and as he crawled away, the mortar became stuck. Shri Krishna jerked and tugged at the mortar with the conscious intention of breaking the rope that bound him to it. But instead, the two trees made a crackling sound as if they were uprooted and came crashing to the ground, falling in opposite directions. The sound was so tumultuous that it made the Brajvasis feel more disorientated than dead people, and it made their minds restless. Although Shri Krishna had uprooted the twin Arjun trees, which were more powerful than thunderbolts, amazingly he was still unable to break the rope that embodied his mother's intense attachment and relentless determination born of Vatsalya Prem. In this regard, poets praise Shri Krishna as follows: Shyamanga Juti Kinkini Dvani Dadam Ringa Tiranga Pranam Karsak Shashvat Uru Kulam Kara Karata Kara Prakara Pratam Vispurja Patimarjuna Dvaya Katha Kar Arjitat Kautuka Pariyavritta Nirikshanam Brajavadu Lalasya Balyam Stuve. I adore the childhood mood, Bhalya Bhav of Shri Krishna, who is nurtured by the ladies of Braj. He is gloriously situated in his childhood mood, in which his dark blue limbs are adorned by his tinkling ankle bells. He bestows the greatest bliss as he crawls on his knees and repeatedly pulls at the grinding mortar, which clatters as he drags it along. Excited by the thunderous crackling of the two falling Arjuna trees, he looks all around with his restless eyes. Terrified by that thunderous sound, all the inhabitants of Gokul fainted and remained unconscious for one danda, 24 minutes. Only the children who had gathered around Sri Krishna did not faint. Being immersed in the utmost sweetness of his pastimes, they, like figures in a painting, remained unaffected by fear. From a distance, Sri Brajraj and the other cowherd men heard the tumultuous and terrifying sound. Fearing some calamity, they all rushed to the spot, speculating to each other along the way about what had happened. When they reached the spot, they became overcome with fear and doubt. Oh, what could have uprooted these two trees? They all cried. There is no wind or rain, nor was there any lightning, nor has an elephant attacked them. Who has uprooted them? Some remarked, this is such a disaster, yet no one is here but us. Well reasoned another, that is probably because the tumultuous sound of the crushing trees knocked everyone in Braj unconscious. Just then they noticed their little Gopal in the trees, a playful smile beautifying his face as he tugged the grinding mortar, freely showering the bliss of his pastimes upon all. What happened? What happened? They asked as they surrounded him, discussing the cause of the disaster. Seeing his father approaching from behind, little Mukunda began to cry. Although Sri Nanda Maharaj was still bewildered, he beamed a smile to pacify his darling child and quickly untied him. Sri Nanda Maharaj kissed the face of his son, Sri Krishna. He spoke to Nanda Baba while crying, and although he knew why Krishna had been bound, he repeatedly asked, "O my son, where is the wicked person who forcibly bound you to this grinding mortar?" Eventually Krishna, who was devoted to his father, climbed into his lap. With his arms around his father's neck and his voice quivering, he slowly spoke into his ear, "Father, it was mother who bound me." When Sri Yashoda had heard the deafening crash, she fainted. After regaining consciousness, she pitifully began to repent. Sri Nanda Maharaj came to know this, and therefore he did not want to immediately question her, even in private. He did not even bother to ask the little children present. What could these little infants possibly know about it, he wondered. But then the children spoke up. "Father, we saw everything ourselves. We clearly saw your son go between the trees. He saw that open space over there and wanted to play there. As he moved away from the trees, the grinding mortar became caught in between them. From an angle, he tugged at the grinding mortar. Immediately the trees made a loud crackling sound and came crashing to the ground. Two divine personalities adorned with armor, crowns and earrings emerged from the trees, their stout figures as bright as fire. After circumambulating your Krishna and offering him obeisances, they said something to please him and then set off to the north. Sri Nanda Maharaj and all others who were completely absorbed in parental affection for Krishna discarded the boy's words as silly prattling. Others, however, were left doubtful. And now these boys are saying something, and the elders are thinking, now they're just speaking nonsense. What do they know? How is it possible that demigods came from the trees and they're making up some stories? All the people of Braj came there in one and twos, and gradually a large crowd gathered. Decorating his chest with his son, Sri Brajraj went with all of them to the Yamuna to finish his morning activities. He bathed in the river with his son on his lap, and after dressing, he arranged for the Brahmanas to chant Swasti Bachan, specific mantras to invoke auspiciousness in that very place. Afterwards, he donated great wealth to them. He then returned to his home, ready to take his breakfast. Sri Yashoda, the wife of Sri Nanda Maharaj, felt so sad and embarrassed that she had bound Krishna that she refused to leave the inner chambers of the house. She could not even speak with the gopis who had come to see her. So after they had all left, they respected Sri Rohini, who was expert in reconciling all situations, directed the head kitchen maids, who were held in high esteem in serving the morning meal. Beckoning Sri Vasudev's son Balaram and his own son Kanhaiya to join him, Sri Brajraj ate with them in the midst of the endearing and indescribable sweet tumult they had made. He then rested for nearly an hour with the two brothers. who were the personifications of supreme bliss. Soon it was evening, a charming time when the cows returned from the fields. Having rested well, he felt happy and content. After coming to the Goshala, he directed the cows in milking the cows and caring for them. Since Sri Krishna and Balaram were quite young, they still needed their mother's breast milk, and cow's milk is the best representative of breast milk. Shri Brajraj first asked for some excellent white rock candy, mystery, to be brought from the house. After distributing it to them and the other little boys like Subal, Nanda Baba began squirting nourishing cow's milk from the cow's udders directly into the brothers' mouths. Then as they sat in the cowshed, he taught them how to make leaf cups and how to write letters on leaves. After some time he returned home, and in a blissful gathering he took his evening meal with the two boys. The wise elderly gopis who adorned their respective dynasties like jewels or goddesses of wealth always desired Sri Brajraj's happiness. Therefore, after he had finished his meal, they approached him along with Sri Rohini and said, "O king, Krishna's mother has not eaten anything all day, nor has she spoken with anyone. Seeing her condition, all the maids and other gopis have also been sitting silently, and they also have not eaten anything." Sri Brajraj was both sorry and amused. "What can I do?" he asked. She herself can see the detrimental effect of submitting to her anger. At this, tears began streaming down the gopis' faces, and they sobbed, "Oh no, she is so soft, internally and externally. Hearing these painful words of yours, she will become even more aggrieved." Smiling, Sri Brajraj asked his son, "My dear boy, do you want to go to your mother?" Shri Krishna promptly responded, No, I will stay with you only." Giggling, the wife of Sri Brajraj's elder brother, Sri Upananda, questioned him, "If you are only ever with father, whose breast milk will you drink?" "I will drink warm squirts of cow's milk mixed with rock candy," Krishna replied. "With whom will you play?" all the gopis asked. "I will play with father and my brother too," he answered. Shri Brajraj then asked, "Why don't you go to your brother's mother, Rohini?" Tears welled up in Krishna's eyes, and he angrily said, "She was not there for me when I needed her." At this, tearful-eyed Sri Rohini spoke gently, "My dear son, why are you so harsh? Your mother is in so much anguish." Krishna pretended not to hear her words, and with moist eyes simply gazed at the face of his father. Upon the motioning of Sri Rohini, Balaram ran forward and seized Krishna's hand to bring him to her. But he wrestled out of Balaram's grip and ran back to his father's lap and tightly hugged him. While on the lap of Brajraj, he stood up and draped his arms around his father's neck. Krishna gazed into his eyes, which were now releasing a stream of tears, and absolutely captivated his father. Shri Brajraj knew that really Krishna dearly loved his mother from the core of his heart. To unearth that inner love, he raised his hand and said, "If you tell me to, I will beat your mother." Shri Krishna could not tolerate this and tightly grabbed his father's arm with both hands. This made Nanda Baba laugh. Because he had the inherent Vatsalya Bhava of being a father, he compassionately thought of the condition of Mother Yashoda's heart and said, "Son, what will you do if your mother is just?" In this statement, Sri Nanda Maharaj jokingly implied the word that means the opposite of lives. Shri Krishna had the nature of a child, and therefore he became overwhelmed for want of his mother. With tear-filled eyes, he said, "Where is my mother? I am going to her." In this anxiety, he stumbled into Sri Rohini's arms, and a din arose as everyone began to laugh. Meanwhile, Sri Rohini, who bestowed supreme joy upon all, entered into the house with teary-eyed Krishna, who joyously embraced his mother. Sri Yashoda let forth deep sighs that resembled the lowing of a cow. She rested her chin on her darling child's head and began to weep. Her crying, which was full of love, completely melted her heart. Upon seeing her condition, everyone there also began to weep. The elderly gopis consoled Sri Yashoda in various ways. Gradually her heart began to feel relief, and the charm of her face began to reappear. Then Sri Yashoda, the daughter of Sri Sumukh Gop, fed her darling son her breast milk to his great delight. After this, she took her meal with the wife of Sri Upananda and the other ladies, who were her greatest well-wishers. As she ate, she kept Sri Krishna and his elder brother Balaram right beside her. Sri Yashoda felt so utterly ashamed that for 3 days she did not come before the eyes of Sri Brajraj. Finally, Sri Bal Gopal, who always carried out his father's orders, personally brought her before him, pulling her by her upper cloth. Also from that day onward, the ladies of Braj jokingly and blissfully called Sri Krishna Damodar, remarking, this is our same enchanting blue boy, Sri Shama Manohar. Although Sri Yashoda repeatedly witnesses Sri Krishna's superhuman majesty, this majesty never even slightly affects her Vatsalya, or motherly affection for him. Which scholar on earth is really able to praise her? Sri Shukadev Goswami has even stated that what to speak of others, Sri Brahma, Shankar, Lakshmi have failed to achieve even 1/100th of the satisfaction and happiness of what Sri Bal Mukunda, he who bestows liberation, has awarded Sri Yashoda. In other words, from the perspective of bhakti, Sri Brahma, Shankar and Sri Lakshmi have failed to achieve even a small fraction of Yashoda's bhakti. Shukadev Goswami has thoroughly disclosed the splendorous fame of Sri Yashoda, which reverberates like a drum throughout the 3 worlds. The Bhagavatam and other scriptures verify this. At this point, Balaram turned to his younger brother, Krishna, and excitedly remarked, "Do you remember when we used to live in Mahavan Gokul?" Shri Krishna smiled, yes. We had such a fun sporting there. Snigdhakanta then concluded the day's narration. O king of the cowherders, your divine son is so amazing. He was even able to make twin Arjuna trees his dedicated devotees. The author Sri Jiva Goswami comments, all the members of the assembly returned to their respective homes after hearing Sri Damodar Lila. They felt as if they had directly witnessed the festive pastime. The next day, while seated amongst the Fulton assembly, Brajraj asked, "My dear son Snigdhakanta, those 2 trees in birds that you mentioned used to grant all of one's cherished desires. In that way, they were like demigods. Who were these trees in their previous births, and why did they come to Braj? Moreover, when they gave up their lives as trees, what form did they take, and where did they go?" Snigdhakanta replied, "Those 2 trees were the sons of Shiva's friend, Shri Kuber, the king of the Yakshas. Once they behaved horrendously in front of the best of rishis, Devarshi Shri Narad. Consequently, he punished them to live as trees. This punishment was Shri Narad's extreme favor upon them because they achieved bhakti for Shri Bhagavan. Whenever you descend to this world, they also come as twin Arjun trees in front of your home in Mahavan. These trees later attained their ultimate destination and became the best of Shri Bhagavan's devotees. However, at present they are illustriously seated in the abode of Premi Bhaktas, where they reveal to others the results of performing bhakti to Shri Bhagavan." His curiosity arose. Shri Brajraj again inquired, "Tell me frankly, son, who are they at present?" At this moment, Snigdhakanta bowed his head and became silent. Then he started glancing at Madhukanta from the corner of his eyes. Shri Brajraj pressed Snigdhakanta even further. "Why are you embarrassed to speak?" With great respect, Snigdhakanta replied, "O king, what more can we say? Your distinguished self can understand everything." Shri Brajraj beamed. "It is true that your words were merely repeats what your silence is trying to say. By your virtuous disposition, certainly we have all understood your meaning. But still, we want you to satisfy us by telling it to us yourselves." Snigdhakanta said, "The twin trees, or the sons of Kuber, Nalakuvar and Manigriva, received the supreme destination of residing in Braj in exchange for their insolence at the lotus feet of Devarshi Narad, which are a shower of all types of bliss. Those 2 are none other than we, the 2 present before you." Hearing this with mixed feelings of curiosity and pleasure, Shri Brajraj and all others present began gazing at their faces and happily embraced them, as if meeting them for the first time. After hearing his brother's reply to Shri Brajraj's inquiry, Madhukanta took the opportunity to begin that day's narration. This way, the Gurudev Sri Damodarashtaka ends. So, praying to the lotus feet of Guru Pada Padma and the Vaishnav, that they bless us, that these imports and the meanings and the moods of the Damodarashtaka may always manifest in our heart. Now we'll continue without Vilapa-Kusumanjali. This is the 8th verse. Devi dukkha kula sagarodare duyamanam ati durgatam janam tam kripa prabala naukai advatam prapaya swapada pankajalayam. O Devi, please rescue this unfortunate person drowning in an ocean of pain. Place him on the strong boat of your mercy and carry him to the wonderful realm of your lotus feet. She is the root cause of mercy. Raghunath Das Goswami says that everything he knows about Srimati Radhika has been acquired from Rupa Goswami. However, Rupa Goswami and also Sanatana Goswami came to him solely due to the mercy of Srimati Radhika. She is therefore the root cause of mercy. It is only by Srimati Radhika's mercy that I have received all these things. We can have the shelter of Srimati Radhika even by mind. She is also Antaryami. She will know from within, and she will have mercy upon us. She will arrange everything in such a way that we get her mercy. So, according to the mood of the sadhak, then they will see Antaryami in this different way. Some will always consider that Antaryami is who is Chaitya Guru, Guru in the heart. Yogis, they will see Antaryami as the manifestation of Sat and Chit, as Super Soul. Some will consider Krishna to be the Super Soul in the heart. Here Gurudev is saying that Srimati Radhika, she is also Antaryami. She is also the residing deity that is residing in the heart, witnessing everything, giving us inspiration. According to the realization of the sadhak, they will see Antaryami in these different ways. Yes, in the beginning, especially in the neophyte stage, it's not possible for the jiva to perceive Antaryami. Therefore, that Antaryami manifests as Sri Guru to guide. Therefore, in the beginning stage, definitely this realization that Antaryami is Chaitya Guru, this is proper. But as one's realization becomes more deep, then by Guru's mercy, one will then realize how Radha and Krishna, they are there in our heart. We will always feel their presence, always be dictated and guided by them. She will know from within, and she will have mercy upon us. She will arrange everything in such a way that we get her mercy. Srinvata swakata Krishna punya shavana kirtanam hridyantastohya vadrani vidunoti suritsatam. The first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, they said, both hearing and chanting the glories of Sri Krishna are purifying. Because Krishna is the eternal friend of the devotees, he situates himself in the hearts of those who hear his narrations, and he removes their inauspicious passions such as lust. Harikatha is like Krishna, Sachidananda, and full of mercy. One hears Krishna Katha and enters and purifies his heart, and it brings Krishna there. Then Krishna or Srimati Radhika personally arranges whatever needs to be done. Radhika Charana Lenu Bhushana Koriya Tanu Anayase Pabe Giridhari. Radhika Charana Shrai Jekore Se Mahashai Tare Mui Jao Bolihari. If one decorates his body with the dust from Srimati Radharani's lotus feet, then it will be very easy for him to attain Lord Giridhari. I congratulate such a great soul who takes shelter of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet, and I say to him, well done, excellent. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says that only those who have taken shelter of Srimati Radhika's lotus feet are Mahashaya, great souls. Mahashaya. Ashaya means lalasa, desire. The desire to serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika is a good ashaya, desire. And those who have this idea are maha ashaya. This is the greatest of all desires. What? Serve Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. Therefore, someone who has this greatest of all desires, they are considered to be maha ashaya. Jai Jai Radhanam Vrindavana Jar Dham Krishna Sukha Vilasa Ranidhi Eno Radha Gunagan Nashunila Morakan Vanchita Korila Morividhi. It's from Prem Bhakti Chandrika, this song. Glory, glory to she who is named Radha, whose home is Vrindavan and who is Lord Krishna's treasury of blissful pastimes. Alas, destiny has cheated me, for my ears have not heard Radha's glories. Tar Bhakta Sangya Sada Ras Lila Premagata Je Kore Se Pai Ghanasham Ihate Vimukha Jai Tar Kabu Siddhinoi Nahi Jano Shuni Taranam. A person who in the company of devotees again and again hears the stories of the pure love in the Ras dance pastimes will attain Lord Krishna, who is dark as a monsoon cloud. A person averse to hearing these pastimes will never attain perfection. I refuse to hear the name of such an offender. Srila Narottam Das Thakur is saying here, I want to have the association of only those devotees who have a strong desire to serve Srimati Radhika, for by their mercy I will receive her mercy. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a book called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shiksha, Teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is in Hindi, Gurudev has published this, but they have not translated this into English yet. Basically a summary of Mahaprabhu's pastime and teachings. There, quoting from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he discusses Rasa Siksha. He explains that when those who only know material sense enjoyment and not the transcendental mellow of divine love hear the name of Madhurya Ras and some stories from here and there, they have two kinds of ideas. First, some think that if one practices the sadhana to obtain this particular ras, he will fall down. Second class of persons have faith, but they think that nobody is qualified to have this. A sahajiya is one who has some shraddha, but has not reached the stage of rati or bhav. Rati is vishuddha sattva. It does not come from the heart of the sadhak. It has to come down from the heart of the ragatmik bhakta. Rati is not in our hands. It is in the hands of devotees who are certainly Krishna bhaktas, but only they can give it. If a man has some shraddha but not yet rati, and he wants to experience his ras on that unripe shraddha, if a man has some shraddha but not yet rati, and he wants to experience his ras on that unripe shraddha, he tries to experience it by worldly emotions in the name of vibhav, sattvic and vyabhichari. Such a person is called sahajiya, a cheap imitator. In other words, if you don't have paramarthik shraddha, pure faith, and you try to enter into that ras, and then you try to emulate vibhav, sattvic bhav, anubhav, all these things with material emotions, then that is called a sahajiya. These can be practiced only at the stage of rati, but he is trying to do so on the platform of shraddha. He does not know what is ras, or what is vibhav, anubhav, or sattvic and vyabhichari. He has neither sthayi bhav nor rati. Sthayi bhav is far away, and he doesn't even have the first stage of rati. Yet on that shraddha he wants to do all these things. Such a person is called sahajiya. He is bound to be a sahajiya. In other words, you have no qualification, no foundation, and you want to enter into this rasmay bhakti, then you are a sahajiya. These things cannot be imitated or artificially emulated. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur have prohibited this. And in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nujjala Nilamani, it is also prohibited. A person who is only at the stage of shraddha and has not gone to that transcendental place should not imagine that I am a gopi or I am a kinkari or I am a manjari. And he should not do Ashtakali Lila Smaran. Such sahajiyas have tried to follow Vilapa-Kusumanjali or any of the books of our Goswamis, but not directly. In order to actually follow, our Shraddha must develop into Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti and Bhav. Then we can have that. We can only pray, we want this, we want this. We should try to develop our bhakti, not immediately try to immerse in that thing. All Babajis are not Sahajis, but almost all are in this category. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not approve of them, because they will think bogus things in the name of bhakti and ras. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained all of this in his book. A guru sees whether the disciple's greed is real or not, and whether his Shraddha has advanced to Asakti. He sees whether or not his disciple is entering Rati. We should strictly follow Jaiva Dharma. In Jaiva Dharma we see that the Guru disclosed the 11 items like Vesh, Nam and so forth in the end. That is the Ekadash Bhavs. When the disciple becomes qualified, then the Guru describes 11 attributes of his Atma, confirming the realization that he is experiencing. And then when the sadhak, then with those hints from his Guru, with those Ekadash Bhav, the 11 moods, he begins to serve internally with his Siddha Swarup, and then that Swarup becomes manifest. It becomes clear. Without that hint, without that push, that encouragement, then it's not possible to realize the Atma. It will be, some doubt will be there, in the sense that it will not be clear. But when Guru gives the Ekadash Bhav, the 11 moods, then everything becomes crystal clear. Then one can enter into this Rasmaya Upasana. He taught everything about Ras, and then at the time of the last stage, he disclosed the 5 stages like Shravan Dasha, Varan Dasha, and also the 11 Bhavs. He did not do this in the disciples' lower stages. These were revealed not in Navadvip but in Puri, in the company of a second Vaishnava. Where in Jaiva Dharma is described. Who? First Raghunath Das Babaji gave instructions to Vijay and Pratanath. Then after this Gopal Guru Goswami, Jagannath Puri, then he gives his Rasmaya Siksha. So tomorrow we'll continue, we'll read the Kripa Kataksha commentary and then go to the next verse. We'll finish here. Today is the end of our Katyani Vrat. We're going to do Yajna now and then we'll continue with our program and everything tomorrow. Gaur Premananda Hari 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 Bol Jai Shri Guru Pada Padma Ki Jai Guru Parampara Ki Jai Satchinanda Gaur Hari Ki Jai Saparisada Gaur Hari Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Gadi Vaishnavinna Ki Jai Samagata Bhakta Vinna Ki Jai Jai Nitai Gaur Premananda Hari